The next theme, which is essential and a cousin to this, is something that you hear in the land of spirituality all the time. Now, when I was with Maharaj, he got very angry with me one day and began pacing back and forth. And he said to me, "You've been around long enough. You should know by now. There is no birth. There is no death. There is no person. It's all a concept. It's all an illusion." And he went like this with his hand, and it felt like light passed through me. And he said, "Now you know the nothing. And so now you can leave." And when I left, it was like there was absolute nothingness. There was so much nothingness and so not I that I didn't even know that I was until after I came out of it, which was several hours later. But the thing that was amazing about Maharaj is he would say things like, "It's all an illusion," which you've all heard. But what does it mean when you say it's all an illusion? But the best way I could describe this is, again, I came back from India and I was obsessed with this is all an illusion. What does this mean? Why does this mean we're hearing it's all an illusion? You hear that. If I lived in Santa Cruz, California, so in Santa Cruz, California, if you go to the herb store, the health food store, everyone's always saying it's all an illusion. But what does it mean? And if it is all an illusion, why can't I see it? I also began to study quantum physics. What I realized when I studied quantum physics was that in a standard model that we all grew up with, there's a nucleus of an atom, and there are electrons that go around. Now, if we took the nucleus of the atom and we expanded it to the size of the sun, and the electron to the size of the earth, there would be more nothingness, more empty space between the nucleus and the electron than there actually is between the physical earth and the sun and the earth. That means that most everything we see is actually empty, but we don't get to see it. If I could hand you a quantum lens, well, most of what you would see would be emptiness with an occasional particle. That's it. Now, the Buddhist Heart Sutra said, form is none other than emptiness, emptiness is none other than form, which means that this particle and this emptiness are made of the same substance. He didn't say emptiness is cool and form sucks. Because if you went to most Buddhists, they're trying to get into emptiness and discard form. He didn't say emptiness is terrific and this sucks. He said they're both the same. Basically, you have formed matter, formed emptiness, and thinned out emptiness. So you have everything is emptiness and form is condensed emptiness. So the nervous system and the brain automatically, before you get there, omits all of this emptiness and only selects out a small piece. So what you see is an abstraction of nothing, of the emptiness. Now the question is, why or how does that even happen? The first reason is that the brain and nervous system have two primary functions. First function is survival. Fight, flight, freeze. I added a fourth, which is fight, flight, freeze, prey. The second thing is the purpose of the nervous system is to organize chaos. Now, if you went and looked in your dictionary under the word chaos, the first definition is going to say something like completely out of order, out of control, something in that vein. The second or third definition, depending upon which brand of Webster's dictionary you look in, will say something like the emptiness prior to the creation of the physical universe. So that the nervous system organizes the chaos by omitting the emptiness. And it does that automatically before you're there. Next theme would be, why is it an illusion and why can't I see it? The body-mind, what Maharaj called the body-mind mechanism, the nervous system, the brain, receives 4 billion bytes of information per second, and it can only process 2,000. That means that what the nervous system actually can see and feel and experience is 0.00054% of what's actually there. What the nervous system does, the term that's used technically is abstracts, which means the nervous system omits all the emptiness. And it selects out 0.00054%, and that's why the world looks solid to you. That's why you can't see the emptiness. Now, this process whereby the nervous system omits all of that emptiness and selects out this small, tiny little fraction takes place in time. Since it takes place in time, that means that the I, which you call I, takes place in time. It does not arise until there is enough condensation of that emptiness. Which means the I arises after the action and event has already occurred. By the time I perceive it, it's late. The nervous system and brain are late. That means everything that you see has already occurred. Now that isn't the work. That work is basic neuroscience. The nervous system is late, and everything that has occurred, everything that you perceive has already occurred. What does that mean? And one of the most famous yoga statements is, you are not the doer. Why are you not the doer? You're not the doer because the time the I arises and can perceive anything, the action and event has already occurred. There's 2 reasons why that it's all an illusion. The first thing is that you do not see the emptiness. What you see is an abstracted representation, a tiny little fraction of what's there. You don't see the emptiness, you see a solid world. The solid world is an illusion. But what's even more striking is that the perceiver of the illusion, the knower of the illusion, the aware of the illusion, the witness of the illusion is part of the illusion.